There's a moment in life that doesn't get talked about very much. It's not a breakdown. It's not burnout. It's not even failure. It's the quiet realization that what used to work doesn't anymore. The habits, the mindset, the version of you that figured things out when you had to. That version got you here, but it might not take you where you're going. And that realization can feel confusing because on paper, things might actually be going well. Sometimes growth doesn't look like confidence, it looks like friction. There's a term I like for this. It's called identity lag. It's when your external life has changed, but your internal operating system hasn't caught up yet. You're still using survival habits in a season that requires intention. Things like overworking because it used to be necessary, or people pleasing because it kept you safe. Saying yes automatically because it used to mean opportunity. Those behaviors weren't wrong. They were adaptive. But adaptation has an expiration date. And when your identity lags behind growth, life starts feeling heavier than it should. Just because a habit helps you survive doesn't mean it should follow you forever. Here's the part that nobody prepares you for. Real growth, it often feels worse before it ever feels better. Because confidence comes after repetition, not before it. When you're becoming someone new, old instincts, they stop working. New ones haven't fully formed yet, and you're stuck in the messy middle. The middle can feel like doubting yourself more than usual, or feeling oddly unmotivated, or questioning decisions that you used to be so damn sure about. But this doesn't mean that you're regressing. No, it usually means you are relearning who you are. Discomfort isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's often proof that you are evolving. One of the hardest parts of growth is this. You have to let go of coping mechanisms that worked. You heard me correctly. I want to say that one more time. You have to let go of coping mechanisms that worked. Not toxic ones, not destructive ones, even the ineffective ones. No. I'm talking about the actually effective ones. The ones that earned you praise. The ones that made you dependable. The ones that ultimately helped you succeed. Because guess what? Coping isn't the same as living. At some point, that hustle turns into avoidance. That humor, or in my case, self-deprecation many times, turns into deflection. And when you think you can control every outcome all the time, it's going to ultimately lead you to exhaustion. Letting go doesn't mean judging your past self, by no means. No, I would never want you to judge that. It means the opposite. It means honoring them. But you're going to choose differently now because growth requires grieving the version of you that survived. So here's a question worth sitting with. What does success look like in this next chapter if it's not just more money, or responsibility, more validation? Sometimes success looks like more margin, more presence, more honesty about your limits. Sometimes it's fewer commitments or better boundaries. Maybe it's a quieter sense of alignment. And redefining success doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you're paying attention. Outgrowing a version of your life doesn't mean it failed. It means it worked. I'm going to say that one more time. Outgrowing a version of your life doesn't mean it failed. It means it worked. So if this episode resonates with you, I want you to hear this. You are not broken. You're not behind. You're not losing momentum. You are transitioning. And transitions are uncomfortable by nature because they ask us to loosen the grip on what we know in order to make room for who we're becoming. The version of you that got you here did their job. Now it might be time to thank them and step into what's next. And that's more than okay. If this hit, share it with somebody who's quietly outgrowing their life. This might be the reminder they didn't know they needed, or maybe yourself, and you're allowed to evolve without explaining yourself. We'll see you next time. And as always, be kind to each other.